we can increase our happiness baseline through giving, right? And again, it comes with serving, giving, and giving doesn't just mean like giving like material or giving money or finances or things like that, or helping someone. Those are all forms of giving, correct? But giving can also just be kind.
Or smiling at somebody.
Smile. And for example, you might not have something to give someone, but everyone can give a smile.
Or a kind word.
Or a kind word, or a word of encouragement.
Oh, yes. No.
But again, for that giving to have value and to have weight, you need to attach meaning to it. Right? So one of the things we do, for example, within our culture or within our faith, we normally add, when we, for example, give something or we want to help someone, we add the Arabic word lillahi ta'ala, which means for the sake of Allah, for the sake of our Creator, for the sake of God. So what we in fact doing there is we're attaching meaning to what we are giving or what we are doing, which means then that we're adding meaning to our actions, which now a lot of people would say that, but they won't necessarily understand that to be the case. I'm not saying that's the only way to understand it, but it's a huge part of how you can understand it. So when you start giving in that way and you understand that is what that means, don't you think your happiness baseline will improve?
Of course.
It will. I mean, if you genuinely help someone and nobody else knows about it, and you go home, do you feel better? Just an overall feeling of, I feel better. I mean, nobody saw you help anyone. It's interesting because I want to reference a study that I read about in Daniel Goleman's book, Emotional Intelligence. Can't remember the full title, but I'm sure everybody knows it's a very famous book, where he did a study of where he didn't do the study himself. He refers to a study within that book with regards to people that are feeling sad and depressed and the means and the ways that they try to get out of the depression, what they actually did. And I'm speaking outside of medication now, right? So some of the things that people would commonly do is, for example, they would spend time with people that they love or people that are positive and have a good influence on them. They would maybe go out and do a hobby or go and exercise. They would maybe go and have their favorite meal or go and buy themselves something. These are all actions that people did according to the study, which people used to uplift themselves. Now, all these things helped, right? The one thing that helped the most, though, with regards to the study and uplifting people's state of sadness and depression, was when they actually spent time with people less fortunate than them and assisted them and helped them. In other words, they gave and they were service to these people.
Without getting anything in return.
Without getting anything in return. So that was the most effective way to get people out of their state of sadness. But at the same time, it was the least practiced. So very few people actually did it, but the people that did do it had a greater effect on them lifting their sadness. In other words, their happiness baseline. So I just wanted to highlight that study in terms of that there's truth in it, that giving and giving with meaning and gratitude are the key indicators to uplifting us and making us happier. It's actually the opposite to what we may have thought in terms of acquiring.